I quit smoking. Now what do I do? Just stay quit. Easier said than done, right? For many people, quitting smoking is easier than staying quit. The maintenance stage after quitting smoking is just as challenging, if not harder than starting your quit. It's easy to quit, hard to stay quit, is something I've heard from many quitters over the years. It doesn't take very much to fall right back into smoking. The reality is, relapse rates are very high. Studies show that 75% of smokers relapse within 6 months. That's high. Even if you've quit for several weeks or months, you're never quite in the clear. I've talked with people who had several smoke-free years under their belt and then experienced a bad day and immediately fell back into smoking. Relapse can happen. You always have to keep your guard up and be mindful of the fact that all it takes is one cigarette to return to the addiction. One drag from a cigarette and you could be back to smoking full-time. I'm one puff away from a pack per day, a quitter once said to me. Reflect on your past quitting experience to extract lessons learned. One of the most valuable things you can do is reflect on your previous experience quitting smoking to see what you learned. Evaluate what pitfalls and roadblocks set you back in the past, and critically think through what you can do to avoid these things in the future. When it's time to quit again, do your best to either avoid issues that tripped you up in the past, or adjust to how you approach these issues. If you don't learn from the past, there's a chance you might repeat it. No one wants to go through the painful quitting process all over again. The topic of relapse prevention is important. Reframe your past quitting mistakes as learning opportunities. When you reflect back on your previous quits, think of them as learning opportunities and not failures. Work to change how you think of the word failure in relation to quitting smoking. Try not to use that word in a negative sense when thinking about your past quit attempts. It's positive that you even have those quit smoking experiences under your belt, even if you were only smoke-free for a few hours or days. It's rare for someone to quit smoking for good on their very first try. No quitter hits it out of the park on their very first swing quitting smoking. On average, it takes quitters 7 to 10 quit attempts before they're able to quit for the long haul. When I coach people in quitting tobacco, I feel a little apprehensive for a quitter who shares with me they haven't tried quitting before, and this is their first try. I certainly wouldn't bet money on a quitter never touching a cigarette again for the rest of their life after their very first attempt to stop smoking. The reality is, the more attempts you have in the past under your belt, the likelier you'll succeed in your next try to quit. You gain wisdom with each attempt you make. What sort of things interrupted your previous quits in the past? Here's a few examples of things I've heard from quitters in recent years. My husband screwing around on me led me back to smoking, said one quitter. My daughter became a teenager, is something I heard from another. I lost my job and my mother died in the same month, said another quitter. My nerves were fried and I returned to my old crutch. What led you back to smoking in the past? What was it for you? Was it stress? Was it some traumatic emotional event, like a divorce or the loss of a loved one, that led you to the store to purchase a pack of smokes? Was it a situation involving alcohol, where your inhibitions were lowered, and you asked for a cigarette off someone? Or maybe you were out having a cup of coffee with an old smoking buddy who you haven't seen in a long time. You were having a nice visit, let your guard down, and thought you can have just one. That one smoke turned to 2, and then 3. Before you knew it, the addiction took hold again and you were off to the races. It's important to ask yourself these questions so you can plan for those challenges in your next quit attempt. Learn from your previous quit so you're not blindsided by the same challenges in the future. Be prepared for your high-risk situations and have a game plan in mind. If you have awareness of what slipped you up in the past, you improve your chances of avoiding a similar issue in the future. Don't let your personal history repeat itself over and over and over again. A stressful event is the most common reason for relapse. The most common relapse reason why people return to smoking is stress. A major stressful event hits that sets you on an emotional tailspin, and boom! I've worked in the tobacco cessation industry for 10 years now. Whenever I'd ask a quitter why they returned to smoking after a long period of abstinence, it was the same answer more often than not. Stress, stress, stress. You encounter a stressful situation that's very difficult to cope with, and that's a wrap. All it takes is that one cigarette, and in many cases, you're back smoking a pack per day. You can't fall for the allure of thinking you can have just one cigarette. What's your plan for dealing with stress in the future? When you get stressed out in the future, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to handle stress without turning to a cigarette? No matter how you slice it up, stress is going to hit you like a ton of bricks at some point in your life. It's important to have some tools, strategies, and coping mechanisms you can utilize to help you navigate through a stressful event without a cigarette. Have specific outlets in mind you can turn to when life hits hard and you need to blow off some steam. Whether that's exercise, deep breathing, meditation, speaking with a counselor, leaning into the support of people in your inner circle who care about you, or comfort food, it's important to have specific things in mind you can turn to that help you manage and relieve your stress. Don't ever lose sight of your motivation to quit and stay quit. A key part of staying quit and navigating through the difficult times is staying motivated. Why are you working so hard to fight through intense urges to smoke? What keeps you committed to battle through the difficult times? What is your why that will help you persevere through the inevitable temptations? Hone in on your motivation and keep that top of mind any way you can. Staying smoke-free and overcoming major stressors, in many ways, boils down to your motivation. The philosopher Nietzsche once said, "If you know your why, you'll endure any how." I love this quote. No matter how hard life gets, if your motivation is strong, it'll carry you through these difficult times when you crave a cigarette bad. It doesn't matter if your back is against the wall. If your mind is set on why staying quit is important to you, you'll find a way to persevere and overcome that challenge. Your mind needs to be set on why you're quitting smoking at all times. Your star shines the brightest when you're committed to remaining smoke-free. If your mind isn't set right, it's going to be easy to fall back into the addiction when life gets tough. Your motivation will help you overcome the inevitable roadblocks, struggles, and powerful urges that you'll experience weeks, months, and even years into your quit. Staying motivated will help you propel forward in your smoke-free life. Your motivation is your number one relapse prevention strategy. Here's 6 strategies to help keep your why top of mind to get you through the hard times. Number 1, have easy access to pictures of your kids, loved ones, and pets. If your loved ones are your quit smoking why, strategically place photos of your children, husband, wife, parents, 4-legged furry loved ones, etc., in places where you can easily access them when you need a pick-me-up. Tape the pictures to the air vents in your car or under your visor. Stick them to your bathroom mirror. Put pictures in your wallet, shirt, or coat pocket. Keep photos of loved ones out in the open where you can see them to serve as a constant reminder why you're quitting smoking. When the craving to smoke hits, focus on the picture of your loved ones who inspired you to quit in the first place. Number 2, gratitude list plus go for a walk. When I quit smoking and got stressed out and craved a cigarette bad, I'd go for a walk. Whenever I was in the red zone, I'd put on my shoes, put the leash on my dog, and hit the trails near my house. I'd take some deep breaths, get some sun on my face, and put some miles on my shoes. I'd walk and reflect on the things that are good in my world and try to forget the bad. I'd work to keep things top of mind that I'm grateful for. My gratitude list included the following: crunchy peanut butter, Cold Stone ice cream, finding quarters on the ground, potato pancakes, fresh air, free samples at Costco, bacon, Starbucks, and my wife's tiramisu, among other things I'm grateful for. I kept my list on a note on my iPhone. If it helps you, write out your own gratitude list and keep it easily accessible. What are you grateful for? What's on your list? If you need a hard copy, type it on a Word document and print it out. Or you can write it out by hand with pen and paper, fold it up, and place your list in your wallet or purse. Take your gratitude list with you when you leave the house. When things get tough, go for a walk and reread your list. Think positive. Focus on the good. Breathe. Number 3, vocalize your why. When things get tough and part of you misses smoking, find the trusted ear of a loved one and vent out loud all the things you enjoy about life as an ex-smoker. Vocalize all the things you hated about smoking. Think of that disgusting smell, the ashes in your car, the burnt holes in your jeans, and the damage it did to your health and wallet. Call up your closest friend and give them an earful about how much better you feel without cigarettes in your life. Explain how you're stronger than that urge to smoke you're currently experiencing. Vocalizing all your reasons for staying quit can serve to reinforce your motivation to keep pushing forward. Number 4, money jar. If money is a big motivator for you, repurpose the unused fishbowl sitting in the garage as a money jar. Clear out a spot for the bowl on your kitchen counter or a table in the living room. Place it in a location out in the open that you pass by every day. With every pack of cigarettes you don't buy, put that exact amount of money in the fishbowl. Watch your change start to pile up. It won't take long. At $5, $6, or $7 per day, you're going to have some money stacked up in no time. When the money jar fills to the top, roll up your cash and take it straight to the bank. Repurpose the money for other things you need and want. Buy something that's meaningful to you. Pay off a credit card bill that's been bothering you for a while. Save up a rainy day fund in your savings account. If you have a targeted purchase in mind, like a car or a new phone, print out a picture of that item and tape it to your money jar to serve as another motivational tool. Save up your money for that one specific item and purchase it once you have enough saved. Number 5, open up a separate bank account to save for a vacation. You deserve a special vacation. You put in the hard work to quit smoking and have one coming. Put all the cigarette money in this savings account and save it up specifically for an all-inclusive 5-star resort vacation trip to Mexico. Wherever your dream vacation spot is on the map, whether it's Playa del Carmen, Belize, the Bahamas, or even a staycation in your own backyard, on your 1-year quit anniversary, treat yourself to a smoke-free vacation. You earned it. Number 6, rewards. Do something nice for yourself when you quit smoking. Especially early on in the process when things are a little shaky, rewards can help reinforce the idea that you're fighting the good fight. Treat yourself to a new outfit or a beautiful piece of jewelry. Splurge on a nice meal. Buy yourself a ribeye steak and blooming onion at Outback Steakhouse. Go to Red Lobster and gorge on those buttery cheese buns and a plate of jumbo shrimp. Wear your fancy new wardrobe out to eat and see if it helps strengthen your resolve to keep pushing forward. It can be meaningful to acknowledge and celebrate tobacco-free milestones. Whether that's 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year smoke-free, you deserve a reward. Summary. Quitting smoking is hard work. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. No matter how you slice it up, it's not a fun process. Quitting smoking is no one's idea of a walk in the park. Overcoming nicotine withdrawals and building new habits is one animal. Staying smoke-free months and years into the future is a whole other ballgame. The urge, thought, desire, craving to smoke, whatever you want to call it, can linger with you for some time after you quit smoking. Learning from your past quit experiences and staying motivated are keys to your continued success. It's important to stay motivated and focused on your why long after your original quit date. Your why is ultimately what will help you persevere and conquer the inevitable urges you'll experience when life gets stressful. Questions. What about you? What do you do to reset your focus when things get hard? What keeps you motivated when it hits the fan and your desire to smoke is strong? How do you stay motivated to stay quit?